and welcome back to the It's Time podcast. I'm Mariah, that bitch is Kaylee, and welcome to the show.
I made myself laugh that time.
I could see it in my peripheral. Hey.
How y'all doing?
Yeah, let's start with a little clink. Ooh,
Nice little cuppa.
I have some tea today. I've been feeling I'm always drawn towards everything British, but lately I've been feeling even more like I need this British culture in my life, so this tea is helping. Have you been feeling that?
I'm really freaked out, actually, by the fact that you just said that, because I shit you not. So I was on a walk right before this, right?
Right.
And I was walking in the rain, listening to There She Goes.
Oh, vibes.
And just taking in the scenery. And I was like, God, I just need to be in England. I need to be in England so bad. And I was like, I wonder if I could swing that. If I could just make that happen.
Like when? No.
Like now. Like right now. But yeah, I spent my whole walk
visas.
Being like, I need that in my life.
Yeah.
So that's
weird.
Freaky weird.
It's just, I was talking about it yesterday to my mom we were talking about dating and dating culture here. And I was just explaining how, like, if we lived in the UK or Ireland, or, like, a lot of cities in Europe, we could go on dates every night. Like, and it's,
literally every night.
I'm not saying that in a cocky, like, oh, because I don't feel that way here.
No, not at all.
It's like I was explaining, I felt like this was a good explanation of, like, mid guys here lead with their confidence in a cocky format.
Mm-hmm.
Mid guys over there lead their confidence with, like, a charming way. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So specifically guys over there, I feel like you don't have to look like Jonathan Bailey to be a charming,
but you could.
Attractive. Well, yes. But, like, I feel like more people attractive because of the personalities over there. Like, you don't need to be this drop dead gorgeous. I will sit with you at a pub for 30 minutes and be like, whoa, I find you super attractive.
Well, I think that's, like, my general thought. But the thing is a guy here who I'm not immediately attracted to your point.
It's their personality.
Their personality does not improve.
Right.
Their attraction level to me.
Yeah, that's the thing, is it's not the first look of somebody that really matters.
Yeah.
It's then, I'm talking to you for a little bit, what's your vibe?
Yeah.
I just give myself the ick.
The vibe's below here.
I just think it's easier, because, like, trial by fire, you know? Like,
I also just think
over there you would get into a relationship faster.
Yeah. And I think over there people are more likely to just, like, walk up to you and ask you out.
Yep.
So you just literally have more options, more data points. I actually was admiring it. It was a good one. Versus here, I feel like you're not going to get a date unless you're on a freaking dating app.
Right.
So.
Yeah, it's because we prefer to meet someone organically, and it's just easier to do that over there. That's basically that long story short.
Literally. Long story short.
Okay, Tange. Today, we have some What? Did you get a text?
That was just a weird thing.
What? Okay.
Nothing. Well, moving on. We'll talk about it later.
We have some catch-ups, and then we haven't even fully decided the topic yet, but we have ideas of where this conversation will go.
So it'll go either one way or the other.
Just based on how we're, whatever we get into. But there's definitely, I just feel like lately the episodes have been surrounding relationships and dating.
But honestly, that feels really relevant to life.
It's really relevant. So it just makes sense.
Well, last we all spoke, I went on a date with Flower Boy. Had I been on the second date yet?
No, it was the day.
It was the day of the second date. So Flower Boy, strangely great first date.
Strangely, it's good.
Yeah.
Way of putting it.
And then we talked about how
good.
everything I liked was either like genuinely a green flag or the biggest red flag in the world. So I went on the second date. He planned it all again. We went to dinner. We sat and talked for like just 2 hours. Like no one on their phone, no other distractions, like just chatting, good conversation,
Mm-hmm.
no awkward lulls. Talked a lot about relationships, what we're looking for, past relationships. Yeah. All of that. Very much all initiated by him.
Just like even talking about him is making me annoyed.
So you can tell where the story's going.
Spoiler.
And we talked about dating apps and how we both find it really frustrating. We talked about not understanding. In fact, he's the one that initiated this.
Yeah.
Not understanding people on dating apps that say that they're looking for like a short-term relationship or figuring out their dating goals. He's like, how do you not know?
Because his profile said he was looking for like,
a long-term relationship. And we both are like mind blown at the idea of people looking for short-term relationships because I guess that's just not
That's not your guys'
how
thinking.
my brain works. So that specifically was a topic of conversation. We're sitting there. It's a school night. It's Sunday. We're both teachers. He's like, okay, well, we check the time. It's like 7:30. He's like, I know we both have to work tomorrow. We've got like a long week. Can I walk you to your car and say goodnight? Walks me to my car. We kiss goodnight. No, like, in-person conversation about a third date or seeing each other again or text me when you get home or anything like that.
Which is opposite of the first date.
Complete opposite of the first date, yeah. I went to a movie right after, and I was like, oh, well, maybe he'll text me during the movie. No. Well, I don't think I was really expecting him to at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But I was strategically waiting to text him until after the movie, just, in case, give an opportunity.
Yeah.
So I get out of the movie, and I texted him, like, thanks again for dinner. And he responded and was like, of course, my pleasure. Like, hope you have a good rest of your night and a smooth day at work tomorrow. And then, obviously, I go and check his profile again because the last time we went on a date, he changed his profile. Bitch changed it again.
Have we lost track at this point of how many times this man has changed his profile in a week?
Literally so many times.
In a week.
And then I checked again the next day, and he had changed it again. This time, here's the fucking kicker.
The kicker.
So we had this whole conversation about, like, what you're looking for on your Hinge profile, right? Guess what's not on his profile anymore? Anything about what he's looking for. Like, you can hide it. It doesn't have to be there. So now his profile just says nothing. And every time he changes it, he actually makes it, like, more and more icky.
Icky.
Like...
Icky.
Like, swapped out some pictures to pictures that looked really, like, douchey and, like...
I can't with the shirtless.
The shirtless one is crazy.
Like, do we need to? No.
And then I didn't hear from him all that day, which at that point, I wasn't expecting to. At that point, I've written this off.
Yeah. There's been, like, enough things that...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well, this isn't going anywhere, I don't think.
Yeah.
And then he texted me on Tuesday morning. I'm at the point where I'm like, I'm just going to leave it. Like, I initiated the last conversation. I said, thank you. Like,
balls in his court.
Yeah, balls in your court. And honestly, I'm not, like, feeling passionate about going out again. So if you really wanted to take me out on a third date, then you need to initiate that. He texted me again Tuesday morning. So this is 2 days later. And sent me this big long message basically just being like, hey, Sarah, I didn't check in yesterday. I'm like starting to experience some mental health stuff. And it's also just a busy week for me. So I just want to let you know, like, I might be kind of MIA. Didn't want you to think that I forgot about you.
It's giving serial dater.
It is giving serial dater. But again, it's to that point of if I knew that he meant that, that would be a green flag.
Right.
But with everything else that's going on in my head, I'm like, so you're probably just going on
dates.
a bunch of other dates this week, which would be so fine.
Just be honest.
Literally. And don't use mental health as an excuse, because we had multiple conversations about mental health, and if I'm choosing to believe other things that he's told me, like that is a big part of his life, and he's had mental health struggles, and I don't want to just assume that he's lying. Like, I didn't want that to be my knee-jerk reaction when he sent that text, but also it was my like, gut feeling.
The trust isn't there.
No, the trust is not there.
Because if that's genuinely the situation, full respect.
Oh my God, so much respect.
But it just, he's not giving that.
But also, you're telling me all these things, and then your actions don't align with any of that. So that makes me inclined to not believe you. And so I just texted him back a nice message, basically being like, sorry you're having a rough go this week. Like, hope you have a good day. Totally understand. And again, left the ball in his court. And when I sent that text, I was fully prepared to just like never hear from him again.
Yeah.
He texted me yesterday morning. So we went the whole week without talking. And he said,
get the receipts out.
Hi, Kaylee. Sorry for disappearing all week. Things have been chaotic. Finally have time to exhale. Oh, and before this, the day before this, he now no longer is on my Hinge at all. Either he unmatched me or he deleted his account or one of the two. I don't know. I've been thinking, and I feel like we may not be the best match. You're great, genuinely, but I don't think we will be compatible long term. I don't want to waste your time and energy. I wish you the best of luck in everything, and I'd like to thank you for spending time with me. I hope amazing things come your way. Heart.
Serial dater.
So I just said, hey, glad you're feeling a bit better.
His roster is piling up. He's
He's like, gotta drop somebody. I said, I'm glad you're feeling a bit better. I've been feeling the same, so I'm glad we're on the same page. All the best.
Genuinely, how are you feeling from it?
It's like really not even a second thought to me.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like it's more like damn over the idea of it, not damn over him?
I don't even necessarily feel particularly like damn.
Okay.
I do think maybe I did. I think my big damn moment was when we were laying on the couch here.
A big damn moment.
My big damn moment. Not this Friday, but the Friday before.
Oh, when we saw the profile?
Yeah, when we saw he had changed his profile.
You already, like, had
that was my big, like,
damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, by the time. So
now it's like, just like...
I already knew this was not going
This was not it.
Yeah.
For sure, yeah. But
That's
it does suck
Flower
to
Boy.
just, like, start over.
That's the thing. It's like, God damn, I gotta go through this process again.
Yeah, it's not him.
Right.
It's
dating. He's
Yeah, so that's that.
And then we saw Wicked.
Well, yeah, we did Glicked yesterday, which was so fun, but so much
many people, and they're like, "What? Like,
what is Glicked?
Like, what are you talking about? What is that?" And I'm like, "I thought this was a thing that people knew about." If you don't know, it's back-to-back Gladiator and Wicked, Gladiator 2, and Wicked.
Oh, and we went back to
it was 6 hours straight sitting in a movie theater.
Yeah, like literally such long movies. So it was like Gladiator 2. The last 20 minutes, we were looking at the clock like, oh, shit.
Because, like, bitch, I'm not going to be a second late to fucking Wicked. Like, not a second.
Yeah, full respect to Gladiator, but for me, it was more like...
Like, if I had to, I would have walked out early of the Gladiator.
Yeah.
We didn't have to, though. Right when the credits rolled, we went, all right.
We literally stood up so fast.
I always, like, sit for a second in movies, but I was, like, on
and we both were, like, so on the same page. We just, like, popped up.
Yeah.
And then we went out to, like, go...
We wanted to get food. Well, we wanted to go to the bathroom
refill
and get food.
Our popcorn and drinks and get food. And then the food was taking forever. And we thought it was only... So Wicked started at 3.
Yeah.
And it's, like, 3:10. I go to movies all the time, so I was very confident. I was like,
know how long
we have at least 20
the
minutes.
Are, yeah.
And then 20 minutes was almost up, and our food still wasn't ready. And we asked the girl, and she was like... She was like, no, it's 30 minutes. And we were like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, 30 minutes. Also, she was not right. It was not 30 minutes.
No, it was not.
Because we walked in finally.
At like 25.
25. I think it was 5 till. And we, like, literally, as we were sitting down.
We sat down and it changed.
It went into the, like,
Could
intro.
not have been more perfect. But literally 6 hours straight of singing.
Like, Gladiator 2 I thought was really good.
Oh, I thought it was so good.
Apparently there's a lot of discourse online that it's not good and that Paul, like, wasn't capable of the level of the role. And I just couldn't disagree more. I think the OG Gladiator was much more about the violence and the fighting of it and, like, the spectacle and, like, whoa, this is, like, so crazy that they did this, like, set design and all that. Mm-hmm. Gladiator 2 was, like, Paul, I feel like, knew how to embody the emotion of what it would be like to be a gladiator in that time. Like, and, like, I don't know, I thought, like, it was much more about...
the role that people wanted.
Yeah. Like, he wasn't as out there, but I thought he did it so well. Like, I thought it was a cool take on a role like that because it's an extremely emotionally taxing, like, his character.
Yeah,
like,
well, what a horrendous position to be in, right? Of, like, well, I can't talk about it too much because I guess that's spoilers, but...
I think because of the first one, people already know.
But, I mean, generally the concept of being a gladiator, like, you probably... Not everybody wants to do it, right? They get roped into doing it, yeah.
But it's also an opportunity to buy your freedom.
Exactly. So there's all these bonuses to it, but if you, like, at your core don't stand for the violence in the system, then you basically have to decide, do I want to die because... do I want to die in protest or...
But also in protest, nothing will happen.
Exactly.
So, like, no one's going to change.
Yeah.
Has to be.
I thought it was really good, though.
I
was like...
I thought also
the first 20 minutes, I was like,
phenomenal.
This is like a movie.
Yeah.
Like a movie. You know that quote from Harry Styles when Don't Worry Darling came out? And he was like, it's like a movie. Like you got to see it in the theaters.
It definitely
was like
a must-see in the theater.
Movie.
I thought so, like, every role was, like, phenomenally casted. I thought, like, Joseph Quinn.
Oh, my God. Joseph Quinn did a horrifyingly amazing job.
Yeah. Which, like, whoa. How did
I'm kind of scared of him as a person now.
Capture that so well. Yeah. Sorry the camera died. Anyways. Continue.
Pedro Pascal, such a believable Roman person.
Yes.
Like, that's so just right.
Also, I was curious, is Paul Mescal, does he have Italian in his ancestry? Because
I don't know.
Like, his build and his nose.
I also just very recently learned that his last name is pronounced Mescal.
Mescal, yeah. But it's
or is that just his accent?
Well, I think if it is his accent, isn't that the right way to say it then?
Fair point. Ethnicity? It just says he's Irish.
Okay, so, like, he literally, so this is not important. I don't need to talk about that. Let's move on.
To be clear, we knew he was Irish.
Yes. Well, yes. Then Wicked, obviously, like, literally right when it started, I, like, had tears. I, like, had tears going down my face the entire film.
She was like, I'm either going to be in shock and I, like, won't cry, or I'll be crying the whole time.
Yeah. And it was,
I kept looking over because she'd be like...
Yeah, like, I had, like, literally snot running down my face. I was like, this isn't just... And it wasn't just, like, oh, my God, tears. Like, I had the urge to, like, cry, and I was trying so... Because if I was to do that, it would make sound.
Yeah.
Like, you can't, like, in the theater be like... But I literally, like, was in that, and I was like, okay, just don't. It was just a lot. It was overwhelming. It's been something that, like, I've been looking forward to for literally years. So I think, like, being there while it was happening.
Yeah.
It's like... when you're looking forward to something for so long, and then you have, like, a weird come down after, too. Because it's just like, whoa.
That happened.
I did it. Something I've been thinking about and crying about for years is, like, on TV, on the screen. It's crazy. So, yeah, you're going again tonight.
I'm literally going again after this because...
And I will be going as many times as I am able to until it's out of theaters. Because...
So good.
Yeah, it was great.
And I have never seen Wicked the Musical, so I had literally no concept of the storyline. Yeah, I didn't know any of the lore. Ryan and Rachel kept being like, well, you know this, right? Or, like, you know, and I'm like, no. Like, I don't
and I'm like,
know what you're talking about.
I sometimes forget how, like, deep-rooted the theater kid gene is.
Yeah.
And how you think it's, like, so main
like,
culture.
Oh, yeah, everybody knows this.
Yeah, and it's actually not. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of theater kids, but...
Yeah.
It's not as...
Like, I didn't know part 2 was going to, like, overlap with the timeline of Wizard of Oz. Like, what? Crazy. So then I came home and I couldn't find the original cast, which I'm upset about.
Oh.
But I did watch the whole musical on YouTube.
Yes.
So now I know how it ends.
She's officially in the.
I'm in, and then I've
base.
only watched Oz related things since then. I fell asleep watching Wizard of Oz last night.
Creepy.
Woke up and finished it this morning.
That movie is so dark.
And then I watched The Great and Powerful Oz today. So
yeah, that movie's weird.
I didn't love that one.
No.
But I also, it's hard to look at
James
Franco the same.
Even as like a child, I always loved The Wizard of Oz, but it scared the shit out of me. And I think it's because like I just could feel when a piece of art,
the dark energy.
When a piece of art is made with that much dark energy, I think you can feel it when you watch it. Mm. Like you can tell, like it's a kid's movie, but like you can tell. I don't know. I just feel, ew, it's so twisted and disgusting, that movie. Like what was going on when they were making it.
I went down such a rabbit hole.
If you don't know that lore, I suggest you go look into it.
Crazy.
Because it's really crazy. Like the Judy Garland shit, like the people that have died, like wild. Speaking of like media, I've been wanting to start Tell Me Lies for literally so long, ever since it started like becoming a thing on TikTok. And I would like see clips of it or interviews of the stars. And I was like, ooh, this looks interesting. And I've been in this mindset of like, I want some like toxic energy in my life. My life is too pure and wholesome right now. I'm like, where's the like shitty shit? Like what?
You got a little triggered into that.
Yes. Well, yes. Oh, I guess that's a catch up too. But I'm just like, okay, how can I be a part of a toxic relationship without actually being in a toxic relationship?
I'm so proud of you for that.
And the answer is get obsessed with the show about a toxic couple, and then you just live vicariously through it. And also maybe it's good to like see the red flags. Like, ooh, that's not good. That's not good. I shouldn't do that, you know? Mm-hmm. Or it's like, ooh, I kind of want to do this. Basically, like, if you haven't seen it, I don't know. I think you would like it, personally.
Well, what don't I like, honestly?
Yeah. But it's just like,
I watch anything and I'm like, yeah, that was so good.
I feel, because my mom loves it, and she was like, oh my God, I hate the main guy. He's so disgusting. And I'm like, I have this bad feeling that I'm going to love him. Because there are characters that I'm like, oh, you are fucked. But like, I still love them.
Yeah.
Because it's just, they're so, you know. And I always look for a redeeming arch in every person. I do that in real life. And that's why I get myself into toxic relationships. Because I'm like, oh, like, that's not your fault. Like, that happened to you, so now you're acting in this way. And I, like, find those things.
I could fix that.
Yes. So I'm, like, fully obsessed with the show, and I fully relate and empathize with the main character, the girl, because I'm like, girl, I get it. I would do the same shit. And some of it, it's honestly scary because it's like hard to watch some of the scenes because I've like heard those things come out of a men's mouth before, and I'm like, whoa, that's so real. And I know like so many girls have heard that from a man, because it's like, it's not TV show scripted-y. It like feels real. It feels like you're watching a real thing. Like a lot of the scenes are awkward because that's how it is. Ooh. Like they're at a party talking and it's not like necessarily flowing perfectly, but there's chemistry, and I'm like, that's real.
Yeah. Oh, that's enticing. Yeah, actually.
And it's very dark and twisted, but I would 100% fall for him. And if he was like pulling that shit on me, I'd be obsessed with him, and like he would drive me crazy.
Damn.
Yeah. And then
Thank God she picked a TV show and not a human.
I'm not going to get into it really, but I had an extremely traumatizing psych eval last week. It was horrific. Oh my God, crazy. So fuck this company. I'm not even going to say the name of it. But the company from the psychiatrist, that place that she works at, I was at my workout this morning talking to my trainer. And I was like, I had a really traumatizing psych eval. And she was like, I did too this week. And she goes, and she said the company. And I was like, yeah, different people though. Same company.
Whoa.
So I'm like, oh, I thought I just got a shitty person, but like this company is just like stupid and fucked. Like how in the same week, the two of us had a traumatizing psych eval.
That's horrifying.
Both about ADHD. And she was like, they were asking me these things that were so outdated and like weren't relevant. And I was like, yes, that happened to me.
Damn.
Like, there's so much
Okay, well,
to
you guys
it.
have already found each other. Now you just need to find some more and then gang up on him and bring him down.
I'm going to bring down that company and I'm going to report the shit out of her. She literally like verbally abused me for an hour. It was crazy. So I'm just, that night I was like, I really want to do some fucked up shit. And
yeah,
usually,
she sent me a text that was like, God, what'd you say? You were like, I want to get
I think like self-destructive.
Yeah, it was like 3 or 4 very self-destructive behaviors. She's like, I want to do this or this or this or this. And I was like, okay, well, maybe we could like find another way to channel that energy.
And then as soon as you got that, I was like, I can't have this
She was like, yeah, I'm not responding to that.
I was like, give me a few days, maybe we could talk about that. Right now, usually it's like I can find a way to experience those feelings through art. And I think I've always been like that. But sometimes if it gets to a point where I have to do something, it's usually nothing crazy. It's more like, let me like dye my hair or get a tattoo, which like I understand that's impulsive.
Those were 2 of the options.
Those are impulsive, but better than a lot of things that is art. Mm-hmm. So I think I just find music, or which I like went down like an Nessa Barrett rabbit hole because I just was like mental health, or like get into the show, mm-hmm. And then I just, because I'm not.
You can tell a lot about Mariah based off the music she's listening to at the moment.
Yeah. Follow me on Instagram and you'll know.
She posted one to her story and I was like, oh fuck.
She was like, this isn't a good sign. Yeah. It's like Nessa Barrett, Lil Peep, Mac.
Oh my god, Lil Peep is like such 2020. She was in such a Lil Peep era.
It was like my mental health revolution year. And Lil Peep got me through it.
Like fucking hell.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much my catch up, I think. I don't really want to get into the psychiatrist thing because that was like really triggering.
Yeah, no need to relive that trauma. Nice going, airhead.
Whoa, my pants absorbed it and it dried. Like it went all over my pants and you can't even see it now.
You're making that shit up.
I swear it went blue.
No.
You can tell that it was wet. Play that back. So, do we feel like there was a topic we were leaning into more in those conversations?
I mean, I feel like we spent a minute talking about the toxicity.
Toxicity. What does it mean? What is the definition of toxic? Let's talk about that. That was one of the topics that we had as an option for today. I just think watching this show has gotten
very harmful or unpleasant in a pervasive or insidious way.
Insidious, damn. It just like the show has me thinking a lot about like, wow, it's so interesting how specifically in like a heterosexual relationship, the power dynamics between a man and a woman, the trauma that leads us to make certain decisions, I just think it's so complex, and I have a lot of sympathy for people in toxic relationships who have, like, you have, like, family and friends who are like, oh my God, just, what are you doing? Like, you're so annoying, just walk away.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I get it. And I'm talking, I mean, I guess we could talk about, there's just so many different ways a toxic relationship can look.
Yeah.
But specifically, like, the extreme gaslighting in the formative time of a relationship. Mm-hmm. And then you become brainwashed and submissive and triggered by certain things that someone says. And they can be so narcissistic and manipulative, and they know exactly what to say to make you obsessed with them, but also like fearful of them. And you hate things, but the hate formulates in love, and that formulates into really good sex. Because the most passionate emotions and feelings that we have are love and hate, and they intertwine. Mm-hmm. And I think what a lot of people want in a relationship is passion. that's what I want so bad. And it can be in any aspect of the relationship, not just sex, but like, I just don't feel like I've experienced passion like how I've seen.
Real yearning.
Yes, I want that. Like, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of that not being an option. I want, like, we should all be able to have, like, why are we living in a world now where they're like, oh, that's just not real? Like, well, fuck, it can be.
My therapist, like, completely unprompted, it was relevant to the conversation, but she used the term yearning, like, in the context of relationships, and I was like, are you on TikTok? Not that people, like, obviously that's a word people use.
I know,
but it's like such a relevant word in, I think, not pop culture, but I don't know, internet culture right now.
And it's because we're so deprived of real experiences, and we're fucked up mentally, and we're not, like, wired to want these, like, passionate romantic things. Now everything's so, like, let's just sit on the couch and play a game or watch
everything's
a movie.
Just so blasé.
Yeah. It's like, eh.
I want someone to, like, eat, sleep, and breathe me.
Yeah. Like okay. The scene in Gladiator 2 when spoiler
alert.
Spoiler, skip past this if you don't want to hear it. When his wife gets killed and the way he reacts, obviously that's a fucking sad thing. But what I was thinking about was, man, I just want someone who would react
to like love me that much
when I die.
When they see me get murdered.
And I'm like,
this is how they react.
That's what I want. I'm like, damn, like,
I don't think that's fucked though.
I know. I know it's not.
Are we just like an echo chamber of unhealthy things?
No, that idea itself isn't fucked, but the fact that I'm so desperate to experience that, it's like, that's how intense it needs. Like, I just don't feel like anyone I've ever been with would have that reaction to my death. Like, I want it to be like, I literally can't live another day without you. I will hold on to this one thing that has your memory, and like, I will think about you every single, like, my heart just got ripped out of my chest. I can't even stand up. And I literally was like, are people like this?
Is this a real thing?
Is this real? Like, because I would feel that way.
I think it is. And that's what makes dating feel so horrible to me more than anything else. I think if I factually knew that there weren't people out in the world that were in love like that, I could just be like, okay, well, this is what it is. But I feel very confidently that there are people that feel that passionately about the person they're with. And I want that so bad. And I'm unwilling to settle for anything less. That it is like actual torture.
I need to be the number one in your life in every way. And I don't care if that's like asking, like, that's what I need. Sorry. I need to be the number one. And I don't think that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's not asking you to drop everyone in your life. It's just like, I want to be on the top of your list.
Well, I think especially when you get into conversations about like being in a really like serious long-term committed relationship, like to the point where that person is now your family.
Yeah.
I don't think that's unreasonable.
Yeah.
At all. Like, not that your friends shouldn't matter, your other family shouldn't matter.
Yeah, you have
to. But like, you chose me and now we're building this life together.
Choose me.
Pick me. Choose me. Love me.
Like, and
if I ever said that out loud.
Yeah, that's crazy, actually. I just can see why, if you, and a lot of women are vulnerable, have experienced a lot of trauma with men or in relationships in general, and when someone that is with you who maybe is toxic, real fucked up, narcissistic, but when they're with you, you experience the most intense passion. Because I think people want it so badly that they're not willing to give it up in a lot of ways. Mm-hmm. And, like, they look at that, like, well, there's so much love and passion that none of that other stuff matters.
And I think for some people, like, passion goes in different ways, right?
Yeah.
Like, passion could be the way you argue and are at each other's throats, or you sit at dinner and, like, cry over these, like, big...
Call out! Whoa.
But then people... sorry.
Whoa.
But also, to my point, that's passion in a different way, too. So that can be just as addicting, especially when you have it hand in hand with the, like, kind of passionate love aspect as well. Like, I don't know. I think about that shit. I feel like I've said that on the past several episodes of, like, at this point, shit, like, I'm cool with, like, a fucked up situationship, a horrible breakup. Like, at least then it's, like, something.
I need, like, the
which
fucking...
is so not true, because I could have tried to make that happen with this guy, but
no.
It's just, yeah.
I want that Bridgerton passion.
Ugh, I want Jonathan Bailey.
I need Jonathan Bailey so bad. It's, like, actually insane.
I need him in a way that is
like, in my veins.
Healthy.
Like, I need him to be inside my skin.
Literally.
Like, I want someone
Are we sure that he likes men? Are we totally
No, and it makes
positive?
sense. It makes sense, because someone who has that kind of depth, of course they're not straight.
Hey.
Come on. A straight man is different than a straight woman.
Okay. I just needed you to acknowledge that for a second.
I'm just like, yeah, it makes so much sense. Like, he knows how to look yearningly. Like, give me that fucking Pride and Prejudice shit. Like, I want this. I want this. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch Pride and Prejudice. Like, I'll explain it to you. Basically, he helps her into the carriage like this. And the touch is like, oh my God, the touch. And then he walks away, and it's so intense to him that he has to, like, physically get it off. Because he's like, I can't.
Whoa.
Just the touch of her drives him insane. So he literally is like, and I'm like, whoa. I want to cause someone that. And I also want to feel that way by someone, too. It goes both ways. But it's like, I just.
This conversation is making the yearning too strong.
I know. And I'm really in that headspace right now.
And you know when you. I had this conversation.
I want romance.
You know when you can literally just feel it, like you're yearning so intensely, it's like an actual physical feeling.
Ache.
Yes,
it's like
fucking
we're
hell.
yearning for yearning.
I'm yearning for yearning. I'm yearning for yearning so bad.
And, like, I'm living it all through fucking Paul Mescal and Jonathan Bailey, soon to be Timothy when that fucking movie comes out. And
which one?
The
Bob
Dylan one. Oh yeah, because I will love anything Timothy does. But also that Vanity Fair shoot.
The Vanity Fair shoot.
It did a lot for me. That was holding me over very nicely. Also, Dune, the show. His name is, I don't know, but the actor in it, oh my God, he's so hot. He's in Heartbreak High. He was Dusty in Heartbreak High. Oh. He's in it. And, like, also Grace Van Putten, whatever, the lead girl in Tell Me Lies, I'm like, you are, like stunning. Like, it's like you look at her on screen, you're like, how do you look like that? And it's, what I love about her is, like, it's like different. Like, she doesn't look like anyone else.
Not a super traditional.
Yeah, she doesn't look like anyone else. She's stunning. I'm just like, I spend my time looking at attractive people in whatever media I'm obsessed with, yearning for what they have or who they are, and I'm like, I live in my little neurodivergent media bubble, and it frustrates me that I can't have it on the outside of my bubble.
Yeah,
I want it to be real. I don't want it to be in the movies.
And those are the moments where I most feel like I could just walk out the door and, like, meet that person right now.
I'm going to start running into people on purpose.
I keep, like...
dropping shit.
For the past probably, like, 3 or 4 years, I'll have these random moments where I just get this overwhelming... Like, it's usually when I'm in a stage of very intense yearning for connection and a relationship, and I'll get this overwhelming feeling of like, well, if I go out and I do this right now, like I'm gonna meet the person. Like when I was living downtown, I'd be like, if I have to go to Pal's right now. I have to go to Pal's today.
Yeah.
Like I have to go to the movies. Like who knows who's gonna be there today?
Yeah.
Like, and it never actually happens. But I have to keep trusting the feeling because one day it might work.
Yeah, like the grocery store.
Yeah, sometimes it'll be Trader Joe's. It's like I have to go to Trader Joe's right now and I have to look cute doing it. The cute guys are always at Trader Joe's when you look like butt ugly,
and
though.
The girls there are cute too. And I have had moments at like Trader Joe's or things where it's like there's like flirting, but then like nothing ever happens.
Yeah.
And then I'll walk out and be like, should I have like
initiated
something? Like what? I don't know.
I just want to be pursued. Is that difficult? I just want someone to like prosciutto. I want someone to pursue the shit out of me. I want someone to meet me on the street, to see me, to look at me and be like, I cannot breathe unless I speak to that woman. And I want them to never lose that feeling ever again. They're like, I have to see her. I have to speak to her. I have to have her.
Yeah, is that too much to ask for?
I really don't think it is. God fucking damn it.
Like, but I feel like we have to go to the UK for that.
Literally twist my arm.
So we're moving to the UK.
If we scrap Puerto Rico. No, Costa Rica. Shit, I did it again.
We could go this summer.
I'm so broke right now. I can't afford the new tires I need to go get.
Right. But let's plan a trip to Europe.
Let's.
Isn't it so funny how like people in the UK don't consider themselves Europe?
Yeah, that is interesting.
They're like, we're gonna go to Europe, and I'm like, you're in Europe.
You're in it. You're literally in it right now.
Can someone explain that?
Okay, so we have so many friends there now, but not friends that we're close enough with that we can be like, can we come stay?
Like, I could hit up Luigi.
Imagine if we could. Hey, Luigi, can we
stay at your Gary's house?
But like, imagine if we didn't have to pay for anywhere to stay.
I'm trying to think of who do we know in London though? It would be like the outskirts. We can hit up one of my most toxic people.
Now let's not do that.
Can you not be there, but can we use your place? I don't want to talk to him though.
I love that for you. No, let's not talk to him.
Oh, he still is in my DMs all the time, and I never reply. Like I don't I don't say anything.
Piece of shit, puny little man. Let's think. Who else? Dan lives in London.
Dan.
Hey Dan, haven't spoken to you.
Hey lads. Like ever.
Literally ever. I think we exchanged like 3 sentences. Which was funny because
we like started the first night talking to him.
Talking to Dan, yeah.
And then like we never talked to Dan really after that.
Okay.
Let's not forget the lads.
Do we know that lives in London?
If you live in London, we can no.
What?
I was like, oh, they have those things where you can like stay at people's places, but those are trade programs, and then they have stairs.
Yeah, and they're gonna stay in like an unusual area of Portland.
Maybe.
I don't think that's very enticing to people.
We could look into house sitting for people, because that's a thing.
That's smart. That is smart.
We could house sit.
I like the way you think.
Maybe we look into that.
Damn.
I think it would have to be like not a super like many country thing. It would have to.
It would have to be like we're locked into
one place, and we get on the train every.
It's too bad Lane doesn't. Lane's friend isn't our friend.
Maybe they will be. But if we like live in London for a minute, that's our home base. Everything we can get on a train. Like we can go to Paris for the weekend. Amsterdam.
The Paris boys would house us.
That is true.
Sofiane?
I think we're on to something.
I think we need to go to Europe.
How did we get here? Like, oh, right.
Because every conversation ends up here. I actually really am weirded out, though, that you started this talking about how you're taking that.
With that, too.
Because I literally I just like have a really overwhelming feeling today, specifically.
Yeah.
And I can't let it go.
I feel like the answer to everything is the UK, London, Dublin,
Literally.
Ireland.
Ireland.
But
Yeah.
no.
So we're going to need to keep doing some thinking on that because I do think that that could solve all of our problems. However, if I fall in love with a European man, moving over there is so much more complicated now that I have friends here.
Yeah.
I said that at Friendsgiving the other night. I was like, I can't just like pick up and move and like be okay with it.
Yeah,
now.
it was like for a
because
while.
Before it was like, well, if one of us goes, the other one's very likely to go too.
Yeah, and it's just us. I'm curious, like, because you, correct me if I'm wrong, do you consider any of your like relationships like romantic, toxic?
I would say I were toxic in ways.
Yeah.
Have
I just feel like that's different because
dropped his name on here before? I don't know.
I don't think so.
Oh, well.
We can believe it. It's a different kind.
It's a different kind of toxic.
Do you
Yeah,
think...
it was toxic, but just less in a...
Yeah, toxic can be so many things. That's the hard part. Toxic in like...
Less in the abusive toxic realm
Yeah.
and more in the like codependent realm.
Some things we do aren't... Yeah. I would say that's how my last relationship was. There wasn't like abuse in it, but it felt... Yeah. But I have been in very toxic relationships. Do you feel like as an adult you could ever get to that point with someone? Or do you feel like you have your boundaries set so high that like no one's going to cross that barrier? It's easy to say when you're not in it.
I was just going to say I'd really like to say I don't think I would ever end up at that point.
Yeah.
I do think like that's part of why I've been single for so long is I have such a clear understanding of what I want, what I feel like I deserve, and I am unwilling to like give on that. Whereas if I was willing to have a little leeway, I could have ended up in relationships where there could have been a more toxic aspect.
Yeah.
But people don't always get into toxic relationships with an understanding of, oh, like, this could be unhealthy, you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes, yes, but I think more often than not, it starts out as this exciting and passionate.
I was going to say,
like, thing, and somewhere along the way, you get manipulated.
Because in my toxic relationships, all of them, there were signs at the beginning that it would be toxic and signs that I saw. But I always am the only times that I've pretty much experienced like really intense passion and romance too has been with extremely toxic, narcissistic people. I have a tendency to be with narcissists. And the beginning is so passionate. And it's like, I see how that's like, ooh, but
enticing, yeah.
I'm going to keep doing it because this is fun and I'm obsessed with you and I love the feeling of being like obsessed with someone that it almost makes you crazy. Like, I think I like the high of that.
Yeah. I think we both do. That's why we're such fucking fangirls.
Yeah. And so until literally all of those relationships crashed and burned and left me literally in shambles, that's the only time that I like then walk away. And it's still hard for me to move on mentally, even though I'm not still seeing the person. Like, they very easily would like pop back in my life at some point. It's like, whoa. So I 100% could see myself getting in another toxic relationship. Yeah. I think that's in the cards for me.
Let's not manifest that.
But you know what I want so bad is something that like someone who does have those flat red flags like Damon and is like, whoa, you're kind of fucked up, but like when it's with me, you love me so much. You love me so much
that you want to be more than that.
Yeah, or like you are shitty to people, but to me you're amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I love that. Like, you don't treat anyone this like kind and amazing and like me.
Yeah. But even Damon, like,
am I the toxic one? That's.
But even Damon.
I don't need to go off a tangent.
Oh.
Yes. No, go.
Even Damon, though, like, becomes less so of that. The more he falls in love with Elena.
Yeah. And
you know?
it was all, he was never actually evil. He just was hurt.
Gotta keep a close eye on this one.
Stefan was the bad one. God. I don't want to get into that right now because it pisses me off.
Oh, I love Stefan.
Damon wouldn't have even been a vampire if it wasn't for Stefan. So, anyways, I'm looking for my Damon Salvatore. Basically, I need some passion in my life.
God.
So can you see, though, from, like, the outside of someone who falls into toxic relationships easily, like, do you see, like, oh, I kind of see how that makes sense? Or is it, like, why the fuck do you let yourself do that?
Or,
like, if you watched a show like Tell Me Lies, I know you don't know it, but, like, in theory, would you be like, you're so dumb, just walk away? Or would you, like, part of you be like, oh, I
think I can always understand at least some of the why. I just don't think I ever understand it enough to be like, oh, yeah, that's something I could do.
And it sucks, too, because it's, like, usually it's trauma and whatever you had to go through in your life makes you more susceptible to things like that. And so it's fucked. It's like, I didn't necessarily, like, I didn't choose to want these things. It's, like, very deep rooted in my psyche, like, which is wild. But I feel like it's hard with shows. Obviously, it's different. Like, if it's your friend and you're watching it, you're gonna be more like, I need to protect you. When you're watching a show and, like, they make it so, like, a part of you roots for it.
Oh.
You know?
I think that's,
and
like,
you're like, I know this is so fucked.
This
is so fucked. You're a shitty person. But, like, a part of me is like, I need them to get together.
What am I have, like, a show in my brain that is so that to me, and I can't think of what it is. When someone's just so fucked, but you just can't help but root for them. Ugh.
And, like, I love that, low-key. But I'm only a few episodes in, so, like, maybe at some point I'm going to be like, I fucking hate him.
Yeah.
But I still, even if I...
We should get you, like, a really good, like, enemies to lovers book.
I love an enemies to lovers. That's literally my favorite. That's my favorite.
Where's my favorite?
Because it's passionate!
Yeah.
Hate sex! I want to... It's literally Anthony and Kate season. Like, that is what I want. Literally, it's like, just like when they walk past each other, and like, the smell of you, or like, I
love it, like, with them, though, because
India isn't far enough!
It's so obvious that it wasn't ever hate for them.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes.
I eat that up.
And
it's like,
yes.
This is such a dumbed down version of it, but, like, that year in high school, when, like, all my ex and I would do was talk to our friends about how much we hated each other.
Yeah.
But, like, obviously...
It was season 2 of Bridgerton, basically.
It was. We just wanted to be together.
Yeah.
But, like, that's so...
It's like,
but everyone else can see it.
Yeah, everyone's like, just get back together already. God,
guys, chill out.
Oh,
but I love that. It's just, like, you're unwilling...
Can you imagine if someone was like...
to give yourself...
India isn't far enough. You can, like, whatever he says. And, like, the way she's just like...
Oh, my God.
I'd be like... Is this real? Like, a part of me thinks if I experienced that kind of, like, passion and romance, I would start laughing because I'd be like, whoa.
No way.
Wait, is this real?
This is crazy.
Like, bro. Can you
my God.
I actually might just need to watch a few clips of those, like him getting out of the water.
Ooh. No, I think I'm fully going to go watch season 2. But I will say...
Season 2 is my most
I do think this, like, ties in to my catch-up, too. Because I think some people wouldn't have had the same reaction to some of the iffy things that I did and my friends did, which that obviously, like, helps ground you in your thinking, right?
Yeah.
But I think other people could have been so just blinded by the good parts, not even questioned intention or honesty or things like that. And then I can see how so quickly that puts you in a spot where you're attached to this person or you're dating this person.
Like before you know it, like you didn't get to the point of attachment yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I probably focus on the good things. I want excitement. I am the toxic one. Well, I'm never as toxic as the person I'm with, but which sounds like I'm being like I'm not taking
Wait, the way you just went. Sounds like
because that sounds like I'm not taking accountability for my part in things. But I am. Your
toxic is a more self-destructive toxic.
Yeah, which has a bad effect on relationships. I definitely take accountability for that. But when I'm talking about my past toxic relationships, I'm not talking about where it was ever actually good. I'm talking about like toxic from day one, like this person was fucking me over the entire time type of shit. I couldn't have done anything to If you get to a point where you're fucked up and you're crying and like your friends are sitting around you and you're like, why doesn't he like me? Like, whoa, you gotta take a step back. Too far. You're too far in.
Can I remind you of this conversation later? Do I have permission?
You just like
pull up the YouTube video.
You like have it marked perfectly. Yeah.
I do worry sometimes.
No, but the funny thing is like how self-aware I am about it. Mm-hmm. Like I'm like so aware.
But that's what makes it harder to talk you out of it. That's
because I'm like, I already know. Like you can be like, this is, and I'll be like, yeah, I know. But like, I'm just gonna do it to myself anyway.
Yeah. And then we're both crying.
Why doesn't he want me?
Oof.
Joke's on you because you want me now and I don't want you. Hopefully I'm talking about not him. I'm talking about the most fucked up of all.
Yeah, that one's funny.
And yeah, he's not watching this, so.
No, he's not watching this for sure. And
I'm not talking about my ex.
I'm not convinced. I hope this doesn't sound bitchy. I don't mean it in a bitchy way. I'm not convinced that he, like, wants you.
Oh, no.
He just wants...
my attention.
Anyone's attention.
He wants... like, the more
and he wants to prove that I'm not he can get your attention.
Oh, because again. He is literally... this man is literally Steven in Tell Me Lies. Well, I've only watched a few episodes, so maybe he's not as bad. I don't know how bad Steven gets in Tell Me Lies. But... what I've seen so far, like...
check.
He will take whatever is available to him in the moment. Like, if you're there and offering, yeah. Like, that's wild.
Damn.
And the more that you are like, this is also a shitty part of it, when you finally are like, I'm not going to take this anymore, I'm done, they want you more. Because it's like, whoa. They like a challenge, too. And it's like, I'm not giving you my attention anymore. And so they, like, get more upset.
More passionate.
And it's like, bitch, chill.
Bitch, chill.
I'm not fucking 21 anymore.
Oh.
Yeah.
God, so how are we going to solve this problem?
There isn't one. There is no solution.
It feels so tangible, but it's
self-work.
Just not.
Self-work, self-care, therapy, meditation, journaling, and then maybe, but I do think like even if I do find a healthy relationship, I'm gonna have to find a way to let out some of those energies, and I'm not gonna say how, but I know how. I don't think there was a lesson. There was no advice. It was really just us talking about the idea of passion, toxic relationships, dating, yearning, all of that. I just feel like maybe this is relatable. If you like relate, maybe some people listen to this and be like, I do not feel that way at all.
They're like, oh, these girls are fucking crazy. Yeah.
We're just neurodivergent.
I'm placing all of my yearning energy into something that's never gonna turn out to be
Yeah.
a gratifying solution. So, but at least I'm placing it somewhere.
Yeah.
It's just a delusion.
Yeah, let's go get a tattoo.
I'll come with you.
I just want to feel something. What's that song? I'd sniff glitter.
I am
if it helped me
I am
feel
fully
something.
letting myself be a little delusional right now, though.
What exactly do you mean? About. We need a code name now.
We do need a code name now. Because I never know.
Hugh Grant?
You can break that code.
Yeah, but no one else could. Oh, is it for him?
Yeah, it's for him.
He would break that code in 2 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
So I might have to cut that out.
Real quick.
That would be funny.
I don't think he listens.
I don't think he listens either. So Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant.
You're feeling delusional about that.
Oh, I'm just fully letting myself be delusional, which is so funny because 2 weeks ago when I thought there was any chance of like a real life tangible thing happening, it was so easy to just be like,
Meh. Meh.
And now I'm like, what does this mean?
Right. I would love to be delusional about someone right now. My DMs are open.
Get on the apps, baby.
Ugh. I don't want to.
Well, that's my life.
I hope you enjoyed it.
Because I know I did. Is that what she says?
I think so. Something like that. All right, y'all. I think this is the end of today's app. I don't know. All over the place for surely. Truthfully, it's time to yearn.
I feel the icy breath of death upon my neck.
Yes. Well, yes. Thank you so much for watching or listening to the It's Time podcast. I'm Mariah. That bitch is Kaylee. We have new episodes every single Wednesday. We will see you next time.
We will. See you next time. So long. Farewell.
Everything's still plugged in.
Yeah.
Bye.